Today, JTV is brought to you by Esprit Miami. Our flowers mean business.
This week on JTV, we'll get to the heart of beautiful roses for your next wedding and special event, featuring the amazing color palettes of roses from Esprit Miami. So let's talk a little bit about Esprit and their amazing colored roses. Their flowers truly mean business. Focusing on the finest in flowers for any occasion, wedding, special event, sympathy, and every day, Esprit has roses for your next project. Esprit Miami is a leader in providing fresh-cut flowers in the wholesale flower industry. Founded in 1980, Esprit has developed a long-standing reputation for high-quality, innovative products and outstanding customer service. Celebrating over 30 years in the flower industry, Esprit is the marketing arm for some of the finest growers around the world, providing customers throughout the US and Canada and all of North America with some of the most beautiful flowers on the planet. Behind the scenes, Esprit keeps a watchful eye on industry trends by visiting European breeders every year. That's where these great colors come from. They're constantly tracking consumer colors and trend direction and creating their very own designer line of colors, varieties, and novelty flower products. That's what makes Esprit so important. Esprit Miami is also a certified woman-owned company. Esprit has the advantage of being directed by Christine Martindale, a woman with a great sense of style and fashion, able to recognize and forecast future colors and trends long before the market's desires and needs are obvious, allowing you to offer your customers the latest and greatest in fresh-cut flowers, all from Esprit. You know, in our industry, a woman's touch is always evident and so appreciated when it comes to weddings and special events, and most importantly, flowers. Esprit roses are incredibly fresh. Just look at the ones that we have here today. Each flower is hand-selected from the finest farms and painstakingly cared for all the way to your doorstep, guaranteed. At the farm level, Esprit frequently brings on board some of the most renowned post-harvest experts in the world. These experts work with the farms to integrate new post-harvest technologies and quality control standards, ensuring that only the best products are brought to the market. Online ordering for the future is right around the corner too, so you'll be able to get the right flowers at the right time, anytime from Esprit. So now, let me show you just some of my favorites from Esprit's amazing color rose palette. We'll start with the pinks. This one is Sweetness, with a creamy petal and a blush exterior that edges the rose beautifully. And next door, a contrast with the pink Intuition. You're familiar with an Intuition rose, but this one has two variations of pink, looking as if it's almost been splattered with paint. And right next door, these two intense pinks. The first one is Priceless. What a perfect name for a gorgeous rose. And next door, Hot Lady, one of my favorites, and one I took to Paula Deen because she's quite a hot lady as well. Over here, a lighter pink rose called Sophie. The exquisite opening qualities of this rose makes it perfect for special events and weddings. And over here, we have Carousel. Again, a variegated color, blush pink with a hot pink edge. And on the end, one of the Austin varieties. This one is called Darcy. Great open cabbage rose, and at the same time, an incredible fragrance as well. Now with pinks, it doesn't stop with standard roses. They also have spray roses as well. This one, Pink Majolica, and this one, Blue Moon, with a wonderful blue cast to the pink. This allows us to use this in all kinds of color combinations and creates a really unexpected contrast. Now let's take a look at the yellows and the greens. Starting at this end, we have Skyline. It's a huge yellow rose and a popular rose with the government as well. This one has been commissioned to be in the White House every week. How about Limbo? I love this term because this green rose falls somewhere between yellow and green. Having that intense yellow cast really speaks to the trends that we see and laser lime, which is a very important color right now. That color that falls between green and yellow. Next door, we have coral, which is an exquisite opener. And look at how the petals almost ruffle outwards. That intense yellow coloration, too, gives us a great contrast when we have two yellows inside one bouquet. Next, we have green fashion, one of my favorites because of the creamy tones and the underlying green comes up around the outside of the rose itself. And finally, green tea, offering us that wonderful chartreuse green that's so popular in today's wedding work. The orange palette is one of my favorites. So let's start here with Juliet, again, an Austin variety with an incredible fragrance and wonderful peach interiors. Next door, Chilies. I recently fell in love with this one. The intense colorations and the variation that happens, along with it being an exquisite opener, means this is going to be one of my favorites going forward. This one is called Cinnamon. It's a big-headed rose, and it's been a feature at many of my JTV live events. Our next one is Bengala. It's reminiscent of the Leonidas rose that Oprah made so popular, with a great variegation effect that adds contrast and texture to your arrangement. This one is Camel. It truly speaks to the designer flowers for designers that Esprit is so well known for. This shade can run in contrast to so many different tones, and it allows a different element to become part of your wedding and special event work. These two are both finesse. One is the regular finesse, and the one above is pink finesse. The unique part about these roses is their high petal count and ruffled edges. It adds great texture to any arrangement. And finally, Dark Milva, one of the award winners in SAF's Outstanding Varieties. This one is amazing because of the way it opens and that intense burnt orange coloration. So, let's take a look at the whites. So let's kick this off with the beautiful spray rose, White Majolica, and then discuss the entire palette. This one is an Austin rose called Patience. Again, open and with an incredible fragrance. Next door, we have Everest, a clear white rose with a creamy center. There, Sahara. This rose has become so popular because of its fragrance and also because of the warm taupe hues that it has that matches it so well in a tone-on-tone bouquet. A new one, I forget the name of this one. Oh, that's right, Amnesia. People always look at this rose and wonder what you do with it. We'll show you today how this rose could be a member of every color palette. This one, Creme de la Creme, with a beautiful, warm, golden center in a creamy white rose. And Quicksand. This rose is reminiscent again of Amnesia, with a great taupe cast that allows it to mix and mingle and become a between color for so many color ranges. And finally, on the end, White Dove, a large-scale, beautiful white rose that opens and has incredible size. Perfect for your wedding bouquets. So, let's take a look at a couple of wedding bouquets before we get started with today's project. So you see, once you've seen the amazing colors from Esprit, everyone else's might just as well be black and white. And color is one of the most important parts about a wedding. Here, we've got beautiful colorations again. Oranges combined together, and with greens, it's perfect. The designer colors blending together with the camel roses help activate this entire bouquet. And remember, hand ties are a popular thing for people to do. Don't forget the opportunity, too, to use Arrive Alive as a hydration solution for these gorgeous roses. By soaking that and placing it inside the bag, we can take this entire piece and conceal it with one more tea leaf, and that would give this a water supply for the entire wedding. Let's take a look at this hand bouquet. It's a great way for us to create an interpretive cascade. The cascade itself is made out of the maidenhair fern, leading our eye up to a beautiful collection of Juliet roses and quicksand, accented by the beautiful peach spray roses. This is a perfect bouquet that can also double as a reception centerpiece. And of course, there's the main event. A beautiful cascading bouquet created from the Patience Austin roses as well as Creme de la Creme, Everest, and White Dove. Mixed together with some of the Majolica spray roses, this is a stunning cascade that's also fragrant and just speaks to the beauty that are the designer roses created by Esprit. And of course, the prettiest roses deserve only the best in bouquet holders. This cascade was created in the Gala bouquet holder, the bouquet holder I designed, because it makes it easy to design cascades as well as round bouquets. And it doesn't just stop with roses at Esprit. Let's take a look at this reception centerpiece, where roses are the focus, but again, it's filled with some of the beautiful flowers created by Esprit. Whether it be lilies or hypericum, calla lilies or hydrangeas, Esprit has all the answers. And here, we focused in the center with the Blue Moon spray roses, and of course, these beautiful Austin roses. The fragrance is incredible. And you know what they say at Esprit? If it doesn't smell like a rose, it might as well be a petunia. So before we get started with today's project, let me show you one more thing about these amazing roses from Esprit. Not only does Esprit offer an amazing color palette, but their roses also mean value because of their size. Look at these amazing skyline roses. And when I take these and cut them, you'll notice why this means value to you. We have 7 roses and we'll be able to create one bridal bouquet from 7 roses. Noticing how those all go together and fill in completely. So let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, hey, one less than I thought. So now, all we need is some ribbon and some foliage to complete this arrangement. Esprit's flowers do mean business, because you need less flowers to create beautiful designs. So let's get started with today's project. We'll be working with this beautiful bouquet holder that comes from Royal Green in Toronto. And we'll be using our Gala bouquet holder, but today, we cut the handle off the Gala bouquet holder using a saw. The Gala bouquet holder's been pre-soaked, and we want to attach it inside this beautiful bouquet holder. There's a couple of options. I could hot glue it in, but that's going to damage this, and I may want to use this again or save it as a keepsake. So instead, we'll place it inside here, set it upside down on the table, and insert the new chocolate wire from Oasis, sending that entirely through the sphere and out the other side. We're going to do it in a crosshatch so that we go all the way around the bouquet holder. And we'll do a third one. All 3 of those are secure, and now we'll bring them up and attach them in the center. We'll tuck them underneath the cage itself and then tie them together. This will ensure that everything's going to stay together. Then we simply come back in and trim off the ends of our wire. That's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to be a perfect opportunity for us to conceal a water supply inside the holder itself. The flowers that we're using today are going to be the Amnesia roses and also quicksand. The great part about these colors is the fact that they're tween colors. We call them that because they fall in between other colors, which means that we can use them with other colors and have them look great. They're a transitional flower. Now, many times people look at Amnesia by itself and say, what am I going to do with that flower? But today, we're going to show you exactly how that wonderful taupe coloration blends with other colors. We're going to use our Amnesia and quicksand as a base inside this beautiful bouquet. Tuck some of the Amnesia down in deep and layer those over the top. You'll also notice that as some of these get more open, their colors start to evolve, giving you tints and tones and shades of each specific color. Now this in itself is really truly quite romantic with those wonderful taupe colorations. For special events right now, those taupe shades are absolutely glorious. So today we have the opportunity to add different colors. If we added pinks, we could bring out that pink tone. Or again with the oranges. But today we're going to add one of my favorite Esprit varieties, hearts. Hearts is an amazing variety because what's happened is they've bred a specific red rose so that when it opens, it looks like a heart. You see that impressionistic heart on the very center of that rose? Talk about a romantic rose. Not only is this perfect for Valentine's Day, but it's a glorious rose for weddings. It just symbolizes love, just like a regular rose, but it's even more graphic. So we'll use the hearts along with our Amnesia and quicksand. Notice how these roses start to take on the attributes of the beautiful red hearts. They form a perfect background and a great complement to these gorgeous, unique roses. Notice how these tween colors actually emphasize this rose better than it would be if we had this rose all by itself. Using those colors together, we get great hues and tints and tones and contrast that occurs. This means this is going to be photographed beautifully for our bride. was interesting. Several years ago, it was over in Amsterdam when this rose premiered. And everybody was looking at it, and the different breeders and suppliers were talking about it. I saw an awful lot of people who said, I don't really get it, or turning up their nose a little bit at the uniqueness of this rose. I was so excited when I talked to Chris, and she said, we have hearts, and we're going to have hearts for Valentine's Day, but we're also going to have them all year long because I think they're a beautiful flower for weddings. That's just another great example of Esprit staying on top of the latest trends and colors and creating designer flowers for designers. You know, at Esprit, their flowers really truly mean business. So until next week, keep having fun with flowers.